Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stafford, Texas, or Sugarland, Texas. Really doesn't matter. We're on Dulles Avenue, home of the Dulles Vikings, and we've got winter weather baseball as we get close to the night where we're going to, set our clocks forward for daylight savings time. We're almost at the end of non-district play, and the Dulles Vikings tonight are taking on the Huntsville Hornets. Two teams both looking for their third win, trying to figure it out. But, the games that really count are the ones that, at least for Dulles, are going to start during the week of spring break. So, they have a game or two here to get their act together before the games really count. And by the way, it is cold here, 46 degrees, and we got a hard wind blowing in from either center field or right field. It seems to be shifting a bit. And, one problem we had was we were playing you a commercial, or we were playing our little song at the beginning, and it just quit. So I hope we can open up our little commercial player. There it is. We'll hear it at the first commercial break. But let's give you the starting lineups. First of all, for the visiting Huntsville Hornets. Hold on. Got to do a couple of things on the laptop. Okay, here we go. Leading off and pitching for Huntsville is Christian Milam. Caleb Cotton is in center field batting second. Hagen Harris, the first baseman, bats third. The cleanup hitter is the second baseman, Mason Monjares. Travis Tester in left field bats fifth. Batting sixth, it is Luke Durham. He's the DH. Batting in place of third baseman Holden Langley. Cooper Molness bats seventh. He's the right fielder. Bun Shelley is their catcher. And Colin Sanders at shortstop for the Huntsville Hornets. And on the mound for your Dulles Vikings is Ishan Mehta. And he's having a last-second conference with his catcher, Anthony Garza, and we're just about ready to go. Under the lights, gray skies here at Dulles, and don't expect long balls. We've got the hard wind blowing in from the outfield. We got 365 feet to the power alleys, 313 feet down each line, and it is the right-hander Mehta ready to go against the Huntsville team wearing all black tonight. Christian Milam, right-handed hitter, stands in, wears number 8, slightly open stance, and we are underway. Meta's first pitch, swung on, it's a line drive towards second, and it's going to get into right field. Mason, I'm sorry, I haven't written down my, diagram yet. That's just the way it goes sometimes during pre-district ball.
Center fielder number 6, Caleb Cotton.
So that was Drew Goodrich, moved over to his right, but the ball had that clockwise spin on it. It moved away from him, and so Huntsville is in business. They are 2-8 coming in, and Dulles 2-8-1. First pitch to Caleb Cotton, the center fielder, is high and outside. And you could see that the Dulles catcher, Garza, was ready to throw. Meta wearing a jersey with a red hoodie underneath it. Throws over to first base, and it gets away from the first baseman, and that's going to allow Christian Milam to advance to second base. Huntsville puts a lot of stock in the great athletic ability of Christian Milam, so they don't replace him with a courtesy runner, even though he's the pitcher. And now we're going to have a little infield conference by the Dulles Vikings. By the way, I noticed they had a game changer page, with everything up nice and pretty on the computer screen, but they have not gotten that started just yet. Maybe they're still putting the lineup in. Now Caleb Cotton will step back into the batter's box. That brief infield conference is over. Cotton stands up tall in the left-handed box, and he puts down a bunt. Coming on to get it is Meta. Throws over to first base. In time, the sacrifice works, and that moves Christian Milam over to second base. So on that first at-bat of the game, let's give Christian Milam a base hit because the ball was just twisting away from Goodrich, and then you got the sacrifice bunt, score it 1-3. One out now for Hagen Harris, another left-handed hitter. He's wearing a black hoodie under his jersey. Also a left-handed hitter, but no gloves. Runner in scoring position for him. Meta's first pitch is outside. You're not going to hear a lot of crowd noise because there's not much of a crowd here. I'm going to turn up the mic and you may hear some things about their personal lives. If that happens, I'm sorry. There's a fly ball toward right center. It is sinking fast, but going out is the second baseman, Goodrich. He squeezes it. 2 outs.
Second baseman number 5, Mason Monjaras.
Now Mason Monjaras, the second baseman, stands in. And are we going to get a third consecutive left-handed hitter? No. Huntsville's primary jersey color is green, but they are in the all black with just a few traces of green here and there. I think they're wearing green belts on their black pants. So we'll see if Meta can keep Huntsville off the board as that wind is blowing dust up on the infield. Here's Meta's first pitch, and it's down low to Mason Monjaras. Good job by Garza to block it, and nobody moves. We're inside the press box at Dulles. I had to pay my way in. They wanted $80, but it was worth it. Here's the pitch. Strike on the inside corner at the knees. Hey, here we go. They got the game changer going. So that's great for me when I don't have time to write down the lineup. Oh, this is great. We got nothing but abbreviations all over the field. Monjaras ready, brings it. Or the pitch by Meta to Monjaras, and it's an error by Goodrich. It gets under him, and the runner keeps coming around third and scores. It is 1-0 Huntsville. Goodrich didn't stay down on it, so that'll be an E4, and it enables Monjaras to reach. And Christian Milan is going to go out to the mound with a lead of at least 1-0 to start the night for the Hornets. Huntsville's still a one high school town. There aren't too many of those these days. Travis Tester, the left fielder, comes up. Right-hander Meta brings it. Tailing away towards it's right-hander. It had a little bit of screwball action, and it came in on the hitter, but it's ball 1 to Travis Tester. You can hear the wind blowing. It's beating our microphone to death. Here's a pitch that's outside, and the count now 2-0 on Travis Tester. Luke Durham, the DH, would be next for the Huntsville Hornets. Meta puts the glove under his pitching arm and rubs up the baseball a little bit. We have 3 umpires tonight, only 2 on the field and 1 in the press box. That is Eric Nathan. His son plays for Dulles. Maybe we could get those interpretations from him on a controversial call. The 2-0 pitch is outside, and Meta goes to 3-0 on Travis Tester. 1-0. Huntsville is on top, and this is one of 3 games we're going to do over the next 20 hours. We'll have a game tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. It's Elkins at Shadow Creek, and then at 1 o'clock it's Austin, and there's a hit by pitch. Ouch. Especially on a cold night like this. Travis Tester would have preferred to walk on 4 pitches than to get drilled between the shoulder blades on ball 4. Anyway, so tomorrow we'll have Elkins at Shadow Creek, 10 o'clock start, and then a 1 o'clock start as the Austin Bulldogs are hosting Angleton. Angleton coming off of a 7-1 win over Kempner, and that was on Wednesday night. We brought you that game on VypeFortBend.com. Now here we go with Luke Durham. 2 runners on for him. Monjaras reached on an error, and that pushed a run home, and Travis Tester has just been hit by a pitch. Durham ready. First pitch to him is outside. He bats in place of Holden Langley, the third baseman. We'll give you your defense for Dulles if the inning doesn't end here, so I hope we don't give it to you till the second inning. Durham with a stance that's neither open nor closed. Started to go after the outside pitch, but left it alone, and it's ball 2. Got to hand it to Anthony Garza, standing out there with no long sleeve undershirt. And I'd say most of the Dulles players have the long sleeves. There's a ground ball to shortstop. Nathan throws to second in time. That gets the third out. And the Vikings do get out of it, but not before they give up a run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 men left on base. We continue here on VypeFortBend.com. Vikings down 1-0 and coming to bat.
For nearly a decade, Comcast has been helping students get ready. We've connected 4 million low-income students to low-cost, high-speed Xfinity Internet. We're working with hundreds of school districts across the country to sponsor free internet and laptops. And now, we're turning 1,000 community centers into lift zones, Wi-Fi-enabled safe spaces to study, so more students have the tools they need to be ready for anything. Learn more at comcast.com/education.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
We are back on VypeFortBend.com at Dulles, where only the most dedicated fans are out in the stands. It is 1-0 after 1/2 inning, and Huntsville out in the field now. Their pitcher, Christian Milam, the little right-hander, will pitch to Drew Goodrich. Second baseman leads off for the Vikings. Then it's Jake Hewitt, the center fielder, batting second. Mark Tisdale, the third baseman, bats third. Camden Matamoros, the first baseman, in the leadoff spot. Floyd Gardner, the right field, bats fifth, batting sixth. It is catcher Anthony Garza. Brady Ultramare, the left fielder for your Dulles Vikings, bats seventh, batting eighth. It's Brian Nathan, the shortstop, and Matthew Morales, the DH, batting in place of the pitcher Ishan Mehta. So let's see, what dirt did I dig up on Drew Goodrich here? I don't mean what happened tonight. I mean what happened before he got here. I didn't have a whole lot of time, so we'll just save that for later. Right-handed hitter to face Milam. Spells it M-I-L-U-M, unlike Ben Milam, the Texas history figure. And the first pitch is down and away. The Vikings wearing their familiar red jerseys trimmed in blue and white. Also the white batting helmets and the home white pants. Pitch on the way. Started to go, but it nipped the outside corner, 1-1. Outfield shallow and straight away on this night where we have a hard wind blowing in from right center field. Started to go after that one. Also a called strike. Pretty much the same location, and it's 1-2. Dulles will start its district games on Tuesday night. And Goodrich fought it off, fouled it back into the screen. So District 26A has 8 teams in it, so it's a 14-game schedule in district play. But next year, Hightower is going to move up into Class 6A, and everybody else, including George Ranch, is going to stay. So it'll be a 9-team district, and they'll have to play 16 district games. A pitch outside to Goodrich makes it 2-2. Milam rocks and brings it. Off-speed pitch, and He rolls over on it and hits it over to third. Langley comes up and throws high. Goodrich is safe. So what do you think? Raise your hand, press box, if that's a base hit. All right. We don't even need to ask for hands thinking it was an error. Base hit for Goodrich.
Center fielder number 7.
Now Jake Hewitt. Right-handed batter with a very wide stance. See if he's going to put down a bunt here. Milam brings it. He swings away, and it's going toward left field. It's got a chance to get down, but a nice play. Tester running hard to his right, heading for the line, and he gloves it and gets it back in quickly. One out for Mark Tisdale. Tisdale 1 for 3 in a game they played against Heights on Thursday night. Had a double and an RBI in that game. And Tisdale also had another double in the game against Lamar Consolidated. That was last Saturday. Had 4 RBIs. Also had a triple in that game. So he had a good week that game. So did pretty much everyone on the Vikings roster. They won that game over Lamar Consolidated 18-4. Milam looking at Tisdale, righty to righty. Here's the pitch, and it's popped up on the infield on the right side. Looks like it's going to be Harris, the first baseman, fighting the wind. Makes a nice play. One pitch, and that's the second out. And he caught it in fair territory for those of you scoring at home, or for that matter, if you're alone.
First baseman number 22, Camden Matamoros.
Now Camden Matamoros, the first left-handed hitter in this lineup for the Dulles Vikings. Dulles won their opener against Cy Springs way back in February, I think on the 24th. 7-1 was the score in that one. And on the very first pitch, it is a single into left field. Matamoros just goes with the pitch, sends it to the outfield, and now they have something going with 2 outs, and Floyd Gardner, the right fielder, comes up.
Floyd Gardner.
Second hit of the inning for the Vikings. Goodrich is now at second base. Floyd Gardner, don't know if he's going to Barber College, but if he was, that'd be good. If he became Floyd the Barber, Fred Garza, and all you old people out there understand that joke. Milam looks back at second, now brings it outside. Ball 1 to Gardner, who holds up the left hand to make sure Goodrich knows it didn't go to the backstop. Bun Shelley is the catcher for Huntsville. Harris at first base, Monjaras at second, Sanders the shortstop, Langley at third base, and we'll give you the outfield in a second. Here's the pitch to Gardner, off speed, and he hammers it on the ground to deep short, and everybody's going to be safe. The play was made by Sanders. He kept it out of the outfield, and he threw to second. That was his only opportunity, but hustling was Matamoros, and now the bases are full of Vikings with 2 away.
Anthony Garza.
So Goodrich at third, Matamoros at second, Gardner at first with his infield hit. Now Anthony Garza, who believes we have the right to bear arms, even if it's 45 degrees. Yes, 45. The temperature has gone down. Left-handed hitter, Milam brings it from the stretch. First pitch swinging, it's a pop-up on the infield. Sanders, the shortstop, on the outfield grass calling for it. He's got it. And the Dulles Vikings threaten to score, but they don't. They leave the bases loaded here in the bottom of the first, and we'll continue on VypeFortBend.com. 1-0 Hornets. We'll be back.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
You are the master of the multitask, the champion of making it happen. Taking care of business is not for the faint of heart. Still, you take care of it. Taking care of business. But who takes care of you? Office Depot Office Max. We supply you, copy you, and tune you up. Members get 2% back in rewards on everything, and we mean everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
We want to thank the folks at Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace in Sugar Land. They take care of business every day so we can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. So Huntsville is going to send up Cooper Molness, the right fielder, then Bun Shelley, the catcher, and Colin Sanders, the shortstop. 7, 8, 9 hitters. For Huntsville, the Hornets lead at 1-0. Talking about that Dulles season, after they won that opener against Cy Springs 7-1, they then lost 6 straight. It was a rough stretch. They allowed almost 10 runs a game and scored just over 2. But they've been bouncing back a little bit here. Meta rocks and brings it. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Molness looks like he's probably the tallest of the Huntsville players, at least the ones that have appeared so far. Meta slow wind-up, brings it. That's upstairs for a ball. 1-1. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but we are really getting... Oh, there we go. I had to adjust the microphone position. Now you can hear much better sound. Okay, that's much better. So now it'll sound like you're at a baseball game. Okay, the third pitch came in. It was a ball, so it's 2-1 now. Molness ready. Swings and a foul tip. I think that went straight to the umpire. I don't think it hit Garza. Justin Jennings, the head coach of Huntsville baseball, just now making his way to the third base box. Garza gives him a moment to do that, goes out to talk to Meta. It's 1-0 Huntsville on top of Dulles. Yeah, I knew there was something wrong. I just didn't have the connection plugged in like it should be. So now you're going to be hear the wind and the dozen or so fans that we have here. And the ball hitting the bat, or vice versa. Meta brings the 2-2, and it's upstairs. He gets a full count for the first time tonight, pitching to number 33, Cooper Molness. So the last game of that 6-game losing streak was a 3-1 loss to Foster, where the Vikings started looking better. The 3-2 pitch is outside, and the first Hornet to go up to the plate gets a walk. And now it's Bun Shelley.
Catcher number 7, Bun Shelley.
And just in case you're wondering, his middle initial is not B. He's not Bun B Shelley. And Bun B, by the way, I am told is performing at the rodeo tonight. He is actually Bun E Shelley. His middle initial is E. So the bunny is up and he puts down a bunt. And coming on to get it is Meta, throws quickly over to first base. Good executed sacrifice. They had one executed perfectly in the first inning. And they have a runner in scoring position with one away. That one was the same, 1-3 for the first out. Number 9 hitter Colin Sanders. On March 5th, the Vikings had their best game, the 18-4 win over Lamar Consolidated in tournament play. But then they turned around and lost to Strake Jesuit last Saturday, 12-4. Those games were consecutive. Pitch by Meta, and it gets underneath Garza, and that's going to allow the runner to move up. Cooper Molness is now at third. They sacrificed him to second, and they didn't have to do anything to get him to third. And the count's 1-0 on Colin Sanders. We see some brave and well-bundled fans making their way into the stands. The Goodrich family is taking care of the concession stand tonight. 1-0 pitch, off speed, in there, strike, 1-1. I never gave you that Dulles defensive alignment. Garza catching, Matamoras at first, Goodrich at second, Nathan at short, Tisdale at third base, Ultramari, Hewitt, and Gardner in the outfield. 1-1 pitch. In there, strike at the letters. Not my style, said Sanders. You can hear all kinds of things out there. There's this, something's vibrating because of the wind. You hear the bags and the trash cans whipping around. You know, they come all the way out when it's this windy. 1-2. And a liner up the middle into center field for a base hit to drive home run number 2. Base hit for Sanders. And coming on home is Cooper Molness, and it is 2-0, the Huntsville Hornets on top.
Pitcher number 8, Christian Milan.
I think that's the, you hear that chant there, that seems like that's what everybody's doing. Like so many things with teenagers, people strive to be individuals, and they all end up doing the same thing. Now we go to the top of the order and Milam, but he'll await the first pitch because there's a throw over to try and get Sanders. Had a chance to talk to the brand new Dulles head baseball coach, the Greek one. Here's the pitch, ground ball past third, past a diving Tisdale down the line. That's going to go for at least one extra base, and it's going to be Molness moving all the way in, or Sanders rather, moving all the way into third. 2 runners in scoring position after the double by Milam. Milam is now 2 for 2.
Center fielder number 6, Caleb Cotton.
So James Vadorakis is the new head baseball coach here at Dulles, and he was on the staff underneath Matthew Warren, so he is quite familiar. Left-handed hitting Caleb Cotton comes up, laid down a sacrifice bunt his first time, but you know he's going to try to drive one to the outfield, and he fights one off, fouled off the left side. I see a little bit of precipitation hitting the windows. So glad we're in the press box. Cotton ready for the 0-1. Meta trying to keep it at 2 runs, but it's going to be a challenge. He squared around a bunt, pulled the bat back, and it's a ball up and away. We always have the awkward end to the basketball playoffs and the beginning of baseball and softball. We have to make a very quick transition. There's a bunt back to Meta. He's going to come home with it. Tag applied and safe. Garza, I think, thought that he applied the tag to Sanders, but Sanders came in kind of moving outside of the baseline and then stuck his left hand out and just got a piece of the plate.
First baseman number 20, Hagen Harris.
So everybody's safe. It's 3-0. Caleb Cotton is now at first. I think we'll call that a fielder's choice. And now Hagen Harris, who popped up in his first plate appearance, looking at the flagpole in right center. Not only is the flag really getting beaten to death, it's kind of waving back and forth. It's just really, really violent out there. Here comes the pitch. Runner goes, no throw down because there's a runner at third. That's Milam. And so Hagen Harris with a stolen base, or rather Caleb Cotton, sorry about that. It's Harris who's batting. Now 2 runners in scoring position for him. Slightly open stance for the left-handed batter with no gloves. Swings and hammers it through the right side of the infield. That'll score 1. Milam is across the plate. Here comes one more. The throw gets away from Garza. And when it's all over, Hagen Harris ends up at second base. Things not going the Vikings' way.
Second baseman number 5, Mason Marjadas.
So it is already 5-0. Monjardas now stands in. He reached on an error his first time. Meta looks back at second. Pitch on the way, and it's a wild one. Goes all the way to the backstop. And Hagen Harris goes from second to third. We still have only 1 out. So the Vikings are playing their second game of the day. Earlier they lost to the brand new high school, Katy Jordan, the Warriors. What was the score in that one? 7-3. Monjardas digs in, runner at third. It's already 5-0. And there's a line drive, 1 hopper to short, and it's off the glove of Nathan, and he has to eat it. So Monjardas reaches, and another run scores. That makes it 6-0. 5 have come in this inning. These are some pretty brutal conditions, but you know, if you're having things go your way, then well, that's pretty awesome. But when you're down by 6 in the top of the second, that's not so good. All right, so let me double check. I want to make sure I'm giving you the right ID here. It is Travis Tester batting. Game Changer says something else, but I'm not going to go with that. And that's going to be a pitch that goes to the backstop. I think it's, we'll call that a pass ball. It might have been a cross-up between Meta and Garza. And it's possible that the wind had a little something to do with it. You got Monjardas at second base. He had the infield hit, and then he moved to second on that pass ball. The count's 1-0 on Tester. Pitch on the way. Bounces in, and it's ball 2. Spring break has begun, but it sure as heck doesn't feel like it. Meta looks back at second, gives it a second look. Now Kicksen comes home with it. Tester, little blooper, and it's going to be Nathan, the shortstop, who squeezes it. That's out number 2. And Monjardas stays put.
Designated hitter number 11, Luke Durham.
Now Luke Durham, no relation to Leon Durham of the Cubs back in '89, made a huge error that blew the National League Championship Series. They called him Bull Durham. That was before the movie. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss at a pitch up and away. Durham is the 9th hitter for the Hornets to bat in this top of the second. 5 runs across, and they lead it 6-0. Meta brings the pitch. Check swing downstairs. Two games tomorrow. Elkins at Shadow Creek. 10 o'clock start. And the second game, Austin hosting Angleton, could be joined in progress depending on how long it takes me to speed from Shadow Creek to peaceful bucolic Pheasant Creek. 2-1 the count on Luke Durham. Meta looks back at second, pitch on the way, up and in, and it gets through Garza's glove, and Now, Tester moves on over from second to third. And we're going to have a mound visit. And normally I would tell you who it is. Is that Valderakis? Okay, I couldn't tell because he's all bundled up like, Nanook, the whatever.
Coach Myers.
It's Coach Myers. Thank you so much.
That combo is not working.
We'll take a quick break during this mound visit and be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Upon closer inspection, it was head coach James Vorodakis going to the mound to talk to Meta and Garza and his infielders. So we've got that runner at third. That's Durham. Correction, Durham's still in the batter's box. So it's Monjaras who is at third base. Sorry about that. And Durham popped it back out of play. 3-2 is the count. And that's one of those pop-ups that it gets over the backstop, and before you know it, it's at First Colony Mall. I mean, the wind is blowing it that hard. The umpire's trousers are really whipping in the wind out there. And now Durham steps out. 3-2 the count. Dulles trying to avoid losing 2 games in one day, as they've already lost to Katie Jordan. 3-2 pitch is high and another base runner. So Luke Durham on to first base.
Number 33, Cooper Monis.
And now Cooper Molness, who started the whole fiasco that is this top of the second inning. He started it off with a walk, and he scored the second run for Huntsville. Runners at the corners. First pitch hits him in the back. Oh my goodness. That has to hurt. And the bases are loaded.
Catcher number 7, Bun Shelley.
Now it's Bun Shelley. Bun put down a bunt, which sounds appropriate. I wonder if Bun is short for something. What would it be short for? Bunford or something? Here's the pitch. Just missed the outside corner at the letters. No relation to the poet Mary Shelley. Actually, I don't read that much. I don't know if Mary's a poet or a prose author. Meta brings it with the bases loaded. That one's in there for a strike. Want to say hello to the commander at the mothership, Merle Bertrand. I hope I didn't bring tears to his eyes with old Cub stories. 1-1 pitch. It's a liner to first base to Matamoros. Goes to his knees and makes the catch. And mercifully, the top of the second is over, but not before the Huntsville Hornets push across 5 runs. They lead it by 6-0, and the Vikings have plenty of time to make the big comeback. You're listening to VypeFortBend.com.
Here's my dreams. I want you to take them.
What is Vype Live? Vype Live is one of the largest and most respected broadcast and live stream networks in the state of Texas. Vype Live broadcasts any sport you can think of for youngsters of any age, from Pee Wee and Pop Warner to high school, club, college, semi-pro, and beyond. We also broadcast plenty of academic, fine arts, and community-related events as well, and now as partners with Flow Sports. Email us at info@vypemedia.com to find out more. Vype Live. We bring your teams to you.
For nearly a decade, Comcast has been helping students get ready. We've connected 4 million low-income students to low-cost, high-speed Xfinity internet. We're working with hundreds of school districts across the country to sponsor free internet and laptops. And now, we're turning 1,000 community centers into lift zones, Wi-Fi-enabled safe spaces to study, so more students have the tools they need to be ready for anything. Learn more at comcast.com/education.
Get you to help me. I need a friend to see me through. I hated the call.
All right, Dulles needs to get something going here. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Brady Ultramari, Brian Nathan, and Matthew Morales coming up against Christian Milam, who has the convenience of a 6-run lead. By the way, the Vikings certainly could use Andrew Sellers. He's 5 for his last 11. Had a big productive day in that 18-4 win against Lamar Consolidated last Saturday, including a triple. But he had someone slide into him, and he's got a little contusion on the knee, and so as a result, he can't play. Hopefully he'll be ready to go by district play. And now we listen to music for kickers, and now we have the place kicker of the Dulles Vikings, Brady Ultramari, standing in the batter's box. We also have sideways rain hitting the window on the front of the press box. We will do the very best we can. Here's the first pitch, and it's a strike to Ultramare. Second pitch to him, and it's a little bleeder over to the right side, and he's going to be out. Milam over there covering, and his first baseman underhanded it to him. Harris to Milam. I was hoping that he would hit one hard to right field, and I was going to say, let's see, what was I going to do? When you ground one to right on a cold, rainy night, Ultramare. But it didn't work out. So the play was made, 3-1 for the first out, and now Brian Nathan batting for the first time, and he takes a pitch inside for a ball. Yeah, the rain is coming down, and a lot of the fans are wimping out, but I can't say that I blame them. You know what I think I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to pull the microphone in. You know, we just can't sacrifice the equipment just for good sound. Okay. All right, so it's going to sound kind of sterile in here for a while, but oh well. All right, so we're kind of adjusting here in the press box, and they are wiping the windows for us, which is nice. But the scoreboard operator can't really tell if the last pitch was a ball or a strike. Oh yeah, you can't hear the fans anymore because the window's closed, but you can hear the broom on the window. I remember a game where Travis, a football game, of course, where Travis beat Clements 86-20, and the windows at Mercer Stadium were just, you couldn't see through them. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's in the dirt and outside as Christian Milam continues to work to Brian Nathan. Here's the 2-1. Popped up behind the screen, and the wind will take it out of play. The catcher, Morales, I'm sorry, it's not Morales. Bun Shelley. How could I forget? Buncelli gave it a look, and it flew out into the parking lot. 2-2 the count. Nathan digs in, stands pretty tall in the right-handed box. Milam brings it, and that one got away from him, bounced in and all the way to the backstop. 3-2. And I'm sure Dulles doesn't really care how they get them. They just need some base runners here. Trailing 6-0, bottom of the second. And a pop-up on the right side. That's going to be Harris, the first baseman. Move it over into foul ground. He's got it. And there are 2 outs. Christian Milam kind of pitching in a rocking chair right now.
Morales.
Now it's Matthew Morales. Was that Leo Sayer? Are you kidding me? I can't believe they had a song by Leo Sayer as someone's walk-up song. I mean, Leo Sayer, he was a big deal in 1976. Morales took the first pitch for a ball, and he's hopping around like he's got a hot foot. Milam brings the next one. Outside, 2-0. Not Morales, I'm sorry. Leo Sayer wasn't bad, but it was just a long time ago. 3-0 now on Morales as the third delivery bounces in.
We're very diverse with our music.
Yes, we are. You are diverse with your music.
Let's go.
Hard wind blowing in still. And it is ball 4. So Morales heads on down to first base. A 2-out walk. Now back to the top, and Drew Goodrich, who singled his first time. And he likes Careless Whisper.
Drew Goodrich.
Tonight the music seems so loud. I wish that we could. I don't want to lose the crowd, but we're going to if the weather gets any worse. All right, open stance for Goodrich. First pitch to him, and it is low and outside for a ball. I don't know if you heard the door slam loud, but it's one of those doors. It's right where the wind almost takes it off its hinges if anybody comes inside. Morales fakes a break for second, and the pitch is taken by Goodrich for a ball, 2-0. I wonder how his mom and dad are doing with their concession sales tonight. Here's the pitch. Looked at an off-speed pitch in there for a strike. Not my style, said Drew. Which one of you is his brother, Jaden? He left. Does he? Never mind. The pitch outside. The pitch outside makes it 2-1 on Drew Goodrich. So he was the curly one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The short one. The chosen one. Oh.
Yeah, so Anthony Salinas, class of 21, didn't want to talk to me. He said I should talk to Jaden Goodrich. Pitch on the outside corner. That was a 3-1. Now it's 3-2, and so Morales is going to be breaking with the pitch. It is 6-0. Huntsville on top of Dulles on a dreadful night. Bottom of the second inning. There goes Morales. Swung on and missed, and that's how the second inning ends. It was a travesty, and it is 6-0 Dulles on top. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
First Tire and Automotive has been putting your health and your car safety first for over 20 years. First Tire and Automotive stands for family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. That's why Fort Bend families know take your vehicle to First Tire and Automotive first and forever. Check out the website for service and savings at firsttireandauto.com. Make your appointment today. With 4 great locations, Eldridge, First Colony, Greatwood, and now in Cinco Ranch, there's one around the corner from you. All 4 stores now open on Saturday. FirstTireandAuto.com.
For nearly a decade, Comcast has been helping students get ready. We've connected 4 million low-income students to low-cost, high-speed Xfinity internet. We're working with hundreds of school districts across the country to sponsor free internet and laptops. And now, we're turning 1,000 community centers into lift zones, Wi-Fi-enabled safe spaces to study, so more students have the tools they need to be ready for anything. Learn more at comcast.com/education.
A good point. This is the important one. All right, I'm talking off mic while the mic is on. By the way, want to introduce you to all my new friends. Give yourselves a hand. Here in the press box, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 people. We got 11 people in here. And we're an inclusive group. There are 3 ladies in here. We could have banned them. We could have said, this is a men's only domain, but we didn't do that. All right, Huntsville, top of the third. It's Colin Sanders, Christian Milam, and Caleb Cotton-Dew. This is one of those nights where the batter goes up there, and he probably toweled the bat off while he was in the on-deck circle, and then he goes up there and he has to put it in his armpit and dry it off. Colin Sanders, I think he's wearing the old school stirrup socks, although not much of the stirrups showing. Meta, Roxanne brings it. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. He's been getting behind the opposing hitters. That's not good. By the way, when I was talking to Coach Valderakis on the phone today, campus athletic coordinator and head football coach Shane Bird was kind of shouting from the other side of the room. Next pitch is inside for ball 2. And Coach Bird, he's an Aggie. I'm not an Aggie, but I'm an Aggie dad, and I'm always conscious of something. Here comes the 2-0. Strike on the outside corner, little curve ball from Meta. So there's no such thing as a former Aggie. There's a former student, but they say once you're an Aggie, you're always an Aggie. But I think we might want to make an exception. The 2-1 on the way, swung on and missed. Count even at 2-2 on Sanders. So what if you're, someone like Kyler Murray? You come to A&M, you play a while, and then you leave. Do you want to call him an Aggie? I don't think so. So if you choose to leave, there's a foul ball. It's still 2-2. Yeah, and it was, his dad was there. He was an Aggie, and Punk QB is not. The Punk QB used to be Jim McMahon back in the 80s. Here's the 2-2. Little bleeder. Meta swallows it up. Not literally. Throws over to first base. Gets his man, and so that's very, very helpful. Sanders retired to start this top of the third. By the way, I'm sure that a lot of people are with me on this. I don't like that transfer portal thing. People are going to be changing colleges every year. It stinks. Top of the order, Christian Milam. Enjoying the benefits of a 6-0 lead, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. They're really behind on this thing, aren't they? I'm talking about the Game Changer page. All right, Meta brings the pitch to Milam, down and away for a ball, 1-1. Milam has a 6-0 lead. He is the pitcher of record, and he's 2 for 2 with a single and a double. He's killing it. Meta rocks and brings it. Strike at the letters, right there on the inside corner. Huntsville has out-hit the Vikings, but only by 4-2. There have been 2 Dulles errors that have moved things along for the visitors from the home city of our our state's prison system. Meta ready to bring the 1-2. Little ground ball, foul, wide of third. In fact, it rolls all the way over to the Dulles dugout. We have signs up in the ballpark that I taped very securely so the wind wouldn't blow them away. One time I left Dulles and I left the signs inside. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball down and in. 2-2. So since we're among friends, I'm just going to tell you what I did to get the signs back because I needed them. On a Wednesday night, I needed to come retrieve them for a Friday game. So, well, hold on. Here's the 2-2. Upstairs, way upstairs. Full count now on Milam. So there's enough crawl space where even someone like me can crawl under from the back and get inside the ballpark and, you know, get the signs back. So I did. Man's got to do what a man's got to do. Here's the 3-2. Upstairs, and Milam walks with one out.
Just repeat that. Right in here. What day was it?
So after Collins, they're still laughing. I was just telling the truth. I'm a candid guy.
Yeah, so it's the truth. The whole truth. Nothing but the truth.
So it's a ground ball out by Colin Sanders, and now Christian Milam walks, and now it's Caleb Cotton, and everybody still wants to dwell on me sneaking into the dugout. I don't know why. Here's the pitch. Down and away.
The one with the gun.
It's a nice neighborhood. I wasn't worried. Caleb Cotton, the left-hander swinger. He has put down two. Well, let's see, one sacrifice bunt and reached on a fielder's choice. Swings and misses at an off-speed pitch. You know, if Dulles can come back and win this might be a real kickstart to their season. I know they got a long way to go, but you just never know. Crazy things can happen on a windy night like this. There's a throw over, and Milam dives back in.
The real thing starts on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically a preseason game, but we love baseball so much that, you know, we're here. Meta takes a long time, now throws over. Matamoro still trying to hold Milam there, keep him from getting a huge lead. Here comes the 1-1 upstairs. 2-1 now on Caleb Cotton. So it looks like we're not worried about the rain anymore. That's not a problem. It's gone. But we still have the wind. And a foul straight back into the screen.
Well, that's straight.
2-2 the count. Here in the nice, toasty, warm press box at Dulles. There are more people inside the press box than there are out there in the stands.
Another school is St. Pite.
Here's the 2-2. That's a pop-up and foul ground on the left side. The wind's going to take it out of here. And it lands harmlessly on the storage shed off to our left. You mind if we put the microphone back out there?
Right now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. All right. Whoa. Okay, we're good. Bring it down. Very nice. Then kind of fold this thing over. There we go. We do what we can. And the scoreboard has gone blank. Uh-oh. What are we going to do? Oh, I'm told that it comes back on pretty soon. Man, I should have been keeping a better book. Hello. There it is. Scoreboard's back on. Still says Sticks nothing. I was hoping when it came on it would look better. Milam breaks, but it's ball 4. 2 walks in the inning for Meta, and now runners first and second with 1 away. Huntsville in business again. They scored 1 in the first and 5 in the second. And they have something cooking here. By the way, is this game only going to go 5 innings? Who knows? Now left-handed hitting Hagen Harris. Pitch on the outside corner and a beauty by Meta. Had a couple of players with alliteration. So on Wednesday night at Kempner, a player for Angleton is their third baseman, Hayden Hibbets. And now you have Hagen Harris. And Harris is the first baseman for Huntsville. Huntsville's Hagen Harris. He popped up in the first and reached in the third and came around to score one of the 5 runs that came across. We have a 6-0 game. Looks like the rain has passed, but it's still very chilly and a hard wind is blowing. 1-1. Outside. No, it's on the outside corner. Thanks, we needed that. So there are some hardy souls out there in the stands. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball outside. That almost got away from Meta. It looked like it kind of slipped out of his hand a bit. Garza had to come out of his crouch and move a big step to his left to flag it down. Still runners first and second. Both by walk. Milam and Cotton. Harris ready for the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and down he goes. And that's the first strikeout of the night for Meta. 2 away, and now it is Mason Monjares.
Number 5, Mason Monjares.
He's 1 for 2, but he did reach on an error his first time. Now we have a courtesy runner. Hold on a second. I shouldn't have put this here. All right. I'll tell you who the courtesy runner is momentarily. Meanwhile, Monjares ready. Swing and a high fly ball to right field. Could be trouble. And the wind just blows it way, way out of play. That's crazy. You know, it was one of those, I guess I should have accounted for the wind a lot better than that, but it just looked like it was going to be an easy play for Floyd Gardner. And by the time it came down, it was over there by those, they still have the temporary bathrooms down the right field line. Yep, still there. Okay, who is that courtesy runner out at second? I think it's number 12. Come on now. Carson Fuller. Yeah, Carson Fuller is running for Milam at second base. 0-1 the count on Monjares. Meta looks back at second. That's Fuller. Here's the pitch. Strike on the outside corner at the belt. Meta could use another strikeout here. Wind blowing in hard from right field, just in case you just joined us. Meta looks back at second, brings it down and away. Couldn't get Mason Monjares to chase. Tomorrow it's going to be chilly, but all the wind is supposed to die down, and it's supposed to be sunny for our 2 games. The 1-2, just outside. By the way, My buddy Merle Bertrand and Les Clary is going to enjoy this too. They're back in the mothership Vype World Headquarters. And if try to break the seal on this story, and the inning will probably end. But don't worry, I'll go ahead and tell it. It's about the Cubs. They used to have all of their games on WGN. It was kind of a superstation. Pretty much everybody in America who had cable TV had it. Runners will be moving on the 3-2 with 2 outs, and it's fouled, going to be out of play to the right. And the players chase it, so that'll give me a moment to say, Harry was always, he made sure he had plenty of liquid refreshment when he was in the booth. And there was this one particular day when he had so many products made by Anheuser-Busch. There was a strikeout where the catcher immediately threw to third base, and he goes, line drive, caught by Say. What a play by Ron Say. All right, here comes another 3-2 pitch. Meta rocks and fires, and that is sliced into the night on the right. I guess of all the ball fields in Fort Bend ISD, I think there's more chance for damaged cars here at Dulles than anywhere else. Now at Travis, there's no way your car can be damaged. I mean, it's like a quarter of a mile from home plate to the parking lot. Here's the 3-2 again, and it's outside. The bases are loaded. Garza goes back to get it, and they got to make sure that Fuller doesn't round third and come home. He does not. Oh, what a miserable night. And we're in the press box. It's relatively comfortable. All right, now it's up to Travis Tester. 3 walks, and that's why the bases are loaded. Fuller is at third, Cotton is at second, and Monjaras is at first, and now Tester. First pitch to him gets away from Garza. 1-0 the count. Tester puts 1 foot in the box. They'll check the temperature when we get a moment here. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's catching the outside corner for a strike. One of those pitches that I truly believe would have been called a ball if it wasn't 6-0 and we weren't all having a not very good time because of the weather. 43 degrees. The temperature has dropped 3 degrees since first pitch. There's a pitch upstairs just above the letters. And it's 2-1. Tester wears the white batting gloves, rubs them together briskly to try and create some warmth. Here's the 2-1. And that's a fly ball to right field. That'll be an easy play, I think. Yes. Yes. Yes, thank goodness. So finally, Meta has a clean inning. It is still 6-0. Oh, this is Elton John and Kiki D. And there are actually teenagers in charge of the music here. It's amazing. That was Floyd Gardner who made the play to end the top of the third. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
For nearly a decade, Comcast has been helping students get ready. We've connected 4 million low-income students to low-cost, high-speed Xfinity internet. We're working with hundreds of school districts across the country to sponsor free internet and laptops. And now, we're turning 1,000 community centers into lift zones, Wi-Fi-enabled safe spaces to study, so more students have the tools they need to be ready for anything. Learn more at comcast.com/education.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stabenow with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, We shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Whatever you like, said you can have whatever you like, yeah. Stacks on the deck, Patron on ice, keep popping bottles all night, baby. You can have whatever you like.
All right, Jake Hewitt is coming up. He's been a hot hitter the last week or so. Milam starts him with a pitch that sails way outside, 1-0. So Hewitt. Let's see. They had that game against Drake Jesuit on Saturday. He had a double and went 1 for 1 with an RBI and also walked. Takes the second pitch, and it is ball 2. He had 4 stolen bases in that Saturday big win over Lamar Consolidated as he takes a strike on the outside corner. Hewitt stands in ready for the 2-1, and it bounces in, 3-1. He wears a batting glove on the right hand, but not on the left, and now he's blowing on the left hand. I wonder if he's thinking I should break my routine and wear 2 gloves on a night like this. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss, chased after what would have been ball 4. Now he blows on the gloved hand. Blows on the non-gloved hand. Here we go. The 3-2, swing and a miss. He swung at ball 4 twice, I'm afraid, and so that's a strikeout to start the bottom of the third.
Third baseman, number 1, Mark Tisdale.
That's the second strikeout for Milam, and now to Mark Tisdale. Pitch outside for a ball. Tisdale popped up to first base in the first inning. Milam's kept the bases pretty clean. There's a hot smash up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Tisdale now 1 for 2.
First baseman, number 22, Camden Matamoros.
I like that. That's a good walk-up song choice. So Matamoros ready, singled in his first trip, first pitch to him. First pitch swinging, it's going toward left field, backing up the left fielder. He's having trouble with the wind, but he stays with it and gets it back in quickly. 2 outs. That's Tester out there in left field in the wind.
Number 2,
testing him.
Gardner.
By the way, I was impressed by the way Tester actually grabbed his cap and kept it from blowing away. And the first pitch is outside to Floyd Gardner. By the way, speaking of Gardner, there's a great old movie you kids ought to watch. It's called Being There. Peter Sellers is in it. He plays a guy named Chance the Gardener. It's hilarious. There is a hot smash that took a big high hop, and Gardner is thrown out. I don't know how the ball got so high in the air. It looked like it was going to hit the pitcher in the shins, and then it took a high hop to short, and Sanders threw over to Harris, and quickly the uprising, if you want to call it that, by Dulles is extinguished. And we'll do a little Marvin Gaye. We'll be right back. 6-0 after 3 here at Dulles. Huntsville leads it.
For nearly a decade, Comcast has been helping students get ready. We've connected 4 million low-income students to low-cost, high-speed Xfinity internet. We're working with hundreds of school districts across the country to sponsor free internet and laptops. And now, we're turning 1,000 community centers into lift zones, Wi-Fi-enabled safe spaces to study, so more students have the tools they need to be ready for anything. Learn more at Comcast.com/education.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
New pitcher in for the Vikings, it's number 2, Floyd Gardner, and the new right fielder for the Vikings is number 10, Darren Stewart.
Okay, you heard the man. Changes for Dulles. They bring in the right-hander from right field. That's Floyd Gardner. And it's Darren Stewart out in right field where Gardner was, and the night is evidently done for Meta. Let's think if, you know Matt Musil of Channel 11? I don't know if he has any sons, but let's say Meta had a sister who married Matt Musil's son, and her name is, let's say her name is Lisa. She'd be Lisa Meta Musil. It could happen. Here's this. I guess the kids don't know what Metamucil is, do they? They do? That's good. Yeah. All right, so seriously, back to the game. 6-0. Huntsville leads as they come to bat in the top of the 4th. And it's going to be Luke Durham, Cooper Molness, and Bun Shelley. Speaking of Bun E. Shelley, you know, one of my favorite things about coming to Dulles when the weather is more like baseball weather, when it's nice and warm and it's twilight time because we moved to daylight savings time, usually in the 2nd or the 3rd inning, if it's a real nice, comfortable night, a little bunny rabbit hops across the field. All right, Gardner ready to throw his first pitch to Durham. Here it comes. Strike on the outside corner. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock from Shadow Creek, the Elkins Knights taking on the Sharks. Then at 1 o'clock from Fort Bend, Austin, it's the Bulldogs who will be hosting the Angleton Wildcats. Big rip and a foul back into the screen. 0-2 now on Durham. We'll try to close the book on Meta before too long here. Gardner's pitch, swung on and missed, and he strikes out the first batter he faces. One out now for Cooper Molness. And Molness, evidently, his feet are kind of cold. He's really shaking them there as he steps in. Kind of looks like a cat when you put a masking tape around each paw. And the pitch goes over his head, squirts out of Garza's mitt, ball 1. The Huntsville Hornets had an incredible football player named Lloyd Archie in the 70s. I think he went to the University of Houston. Here's the 1-0. Not sure about that, though. The pitch is down and away for a ball. So it was last Friday night when the Clements Rangers were eliminated from the basketball playoffs, and we made the quick transition to baseball as Gardner pours a strike in to make it 2-1. So Clements lost on Friday night to Atascocita. And Atascocita, good luck tonight. You're playing Duncanville. I don't know what kind of a chance you have, but I know they're going to be ready. There's a pop-up on the infield. It's going to go into foul ground. Matamoros giving it a look and runs out of room as the wind carries it away. Still, well, it's 2-2 now. So anyway, Clements loses that game, and so I get up, and our first baseball broadcast of the year is Austin at Morton Ranch, and the Bulldogs win 11-1. Later that afternoon, I go over to Fulshire High School, where it's Ridgepoint against Peyto, and Ridgepoint wins 17-4. Then on Monday night, the Elkins Knights, they won their game 14-0 over Nimitz. Pitch in the dirt. 3-2 the count now on Cooper Molness. So I got sick of blowouts. And then on Wednesday, after that Monday night 14-0 game, Angleton beats Kempner 7-1. And right now this game is at 6-0. I need some drama. Here's the pitch. Downstairs for ball 4. And Cooper Molness hustling on down to first.
Ben Shelley.
And as cold as it is, you don't blame him for running to first. Kind of looked like Pete Rose, who used to pretty much sprint down there. So Molness on with a walk, and it's Bun Shelley. Sacrifice bunt and a line out to first base. Looks at the first pitch, strike at the knees. Wondered earlier on, could Bunn be short for something? And I just can't come up with anything. The 0-1 pitch is high, 1-1. Dulles starts its district play on Tuesday night. Here's the pitch from Gardner. That's upstairs. Dulles is playing its first district game at Bush. And on the 25th of March, we will have our first Dulles district game broadcast. Pitch downstairs. The count goes 3-1 on Bun Shelley. The bunny, who lives around here somewhere, has to be snuggled against the wind. Somehow they survive. Here's the 3-1. Shelley takes down and in, and it's ball 4. 2 men on. Gardner struck out his first mound opponent, and or his first batter he faced. Now he's given up a pair of walks.
Sanders.
Colin Sanders. 1 for 2 with a second inning single. Gardner looks back at second. Brings it. Squaring to bunt, and it goes into foul territory on the left. 0-1. Evidently, cold temperatures affect Game Changer. It's moving like molasses. Gardner brings it. And there's a slow ground ball toward third. Tisdale can't glove it. He does knock it down, keeps it from going into the outfield. And he's backed up there by Nathan, so everybody's safe and the bases are loaded. Infield hit for Colin Sanders.
Christian Milam.
Christian Milam with a great opportunity here. They have not been able to keep him off base. He has singled, doubled, and had a walk. And he has an opportunity to do something that would get this closer to a run rule game. First pitch is high to him. There are a whole bunch of seniors on the Huntsville team. And there's a foul ball, and it ricocheted off either Garza or the umpire, probably the umpire. And the count is 1-1. So I was kind of printing off a roster from the funky web page that is Huntsville High School. 1-1 to Milam, and a great catch by Garza. He has to leap out of his crouch and reach above Milam's head to flag that one down. It's 2-1. And I was able to get everybody's classification to go onto the paper that I printed except Christian Milam. So I don't know if he's going to be back next year for Huntsville or moving on to the next level or college or whatever life holds in store. The 2-1 pitch is a strike at the belt, inside corner. I'm thinking about Howard Jones. He was kind of a popular 80s British MTV guy, and he had this song called Things Can Only Get Better. Pitch is high. It's now 3-2 with one out. Gardner in his first inning of work is having a lot of trouble here. So we got blowout games, nasty temperature, hard wind. Supposed to be nice and sunny and not as windy tomorrow, even though it will be chilly for our two games. And then district play starts on Tuesday. Can't wait for that. Gardner winds with the bases loaded and is behind the hitter, goes all the way to the backstop. That's ball four anyway. And that makes it 7-0. So Molness comes home. Bun Shelley moves to third. Colin Sanders to second. And Milam is at first base, and looks like they'll leave him in rather than use a courtesy runner. Caleb Cotton, the left-handed hitting center fielder, stands in. Now they want the courtesy runner, and that's Fuller.
Number 6, Caleb Cotton.
So Caleb Cotton batting. He's a lefty. Fuller running for Milam at first base. Matamoros is not holding him on there. Here's the pitch. And that's a fly ball to left field. And that the wind takes it away, and it's gonna roll and be an extra base hit. 2-run score, and that makes it 9-0. Shelley comes home, Sanders comes home. Fuller ends up at third, and it ends up being a double for Caleb Cotton. You don't often see a wind-blown double, but that's what it was. And unfortunately, the victim out there in left field was Brady Ultramare. So 1 run in the in the first for Huntsville, 5 in the second. They didn't get on the board in the third, but here in the fourth, they've scored 3, and they have 2 runners in scoring position with just 1 away. You know, both the Vikings and the Hornets have some players of not very great stature out there. The Eddie Goodell strike zone. There's a smash up the middle into center field. That'll score 1, but they're going to hold Caleb Cotton at third base. Fuller running for Milam, came on home. And we now have that
Second
magical
base,
10-0 score.
Marharis.
So you got Fuller getting the welcome into the dugout. Now it's Mason Monjares. Righty to righty, but Gardner's going to throw over to first. before he delivers one, and Hagen Harris dives back in. You know, I said Harris was going to get a wind-blown double. He certainly could have, but he stayed at first. I kind of assumed that, and you know what happens when you assume. We have a very intelligent audience, so I don't need to tell you what happens when you assume. The pitch to Monjaras, and he fights it off, fouls it backhand to the right. So things are going to get warmer, the weather will get better, the games will start to count, and we will actually have competitive games. But we may be headed to a run rule finish tonight. And another Gardner throw over to first base, and easily back is Harris. So I'll tell you what, if Gardner is wearing an undershirt out there, it's a short sleeve one. So this may be the most uncomfortable he's ever been in a baseball game, possibly. We'd have to ask. Here's the 0-1, upstairs for a ball. The infield umpire is wearing one of those cowls. It's covering up pretty much everything but his eyes. Hands in pockets, can't blame him. Runners first and third. There's a pitch downstairs. It was over but low. One of the most exciting games ever here at Dulles that I saw was when, let's see, Jason Brown hit a walk-off single to beat Elkins. Pitch is high, 3-1. You know, when it was happening, I thought that it was a win that gave Dulles a playoff spot, but I found out after the game that they already had the playoff spot clinched. Really enjoyed watching that 2019 Dulles team of the late coach Mike Weatherly. Great man. And there's ball four. The bases are loaded again. It's already 10-0. Still just one out.
Number 3, Travis Tester.
As Gardner struggles through this inning. Now Travis Tester looking very cold as he steps into the batter's box. Walking stiffly, you know, kind of like, you know, I do when I get out of bed. I'm at that point in life, I guess. I'm trying to remain as immature emotionally and intellectually as I can by watching the great game of high school baseball as Gardner throws a ball to Travis Tester, the 9th batter to come to the plate for Huntsville here in the 4th, and they had one other inning where they had more than 9 bat. Actually, it was, let's see, they had 11 men come to the plate in the 2nd. So the count is 1-1. Monjaras just walked. Tester ready. Gardner goes from the windup. Pitch on the way. Downstairs. It was over but low. And I got to say, I respect the home plate umpire. He's not just calling willy-nilly strikes so we can all go home. He's calling it the way I think it should be, which is a ball and a strike is a strike. Doesn't matter what the score is. Doesn't matter how cold you are. Doesn't matter how mad you are at a player. And that's a hit by pitch. Ouch. And Travis Tester is enjoying, well, he's not enjoying it. His teammates are enjoying it. He's very mad that he got hit. But it drives home a run to make it 11-0.
Designated hitter number 11, Luke Durham.
Caleb Cotton came on home. Hagen Harris to third, Monjaras to second, and Travis Tester, angrier than, well, a hornet as he goes to first base. And now Huntsville has batted around in the 4th, and the first pitch swinging by Durham, way up in the air on the infield. And it's Nathan who squeezes it. He had to run a long way, a good 50 feet. He ended up on the grass within the base paths. And there, thankfully,
Right fielder number 33,
is the second
Cooper
out.
Molness.
Base is still loaded. 11-0 is our score, and it is Cooper Molness, the right-hander, now facing Gardner for the second time in the inning, and he torches one to left, but it's going to hang up, I think. No, it's going to drop in. The wind kicked it, knocked it down, and 2-run score. It is 13-0. Runners at second and third after the wind-blown double by Cooper Molness. Mama said there'd be days like this. Harris came home.
Catcher number
Harris came
7,
home.
Ben Shelley.
And now it's Bun Shelley's turn. So Tester is at third base. Runners second and third, and Gardner will go from the windup, and Bun Shelley takes the ball high. Let's check the temperature. That's something we can do. It is 41 degrees. It's dropped 5 degrees since we started. Here's the 1-0. In there for a strike at the knees on the inside corner. And Gardner inherited a big deficit, and he's just kind of taken one for the team. His ERA is going to take a beating. Well, maybe not so much his ERA since he's been walking batters. But he's given up a lot of runs. And a lunge at the ball. It's in foul territory on the right. Matamoros comes over, makes the catch. And for the second time in the night, I say the top of the inning mercifully ends. After 3.5, it is Huntsville 13 and Dulles nothing. And we'll be back with more on VypeFortBend.com. Where's the music?
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
Ready to mount the greatest comeback in the history of high school baseball as they trail
Number
13-0.
Anthony Garza.
Anthony Garza, the catcher, will lead it off in the bottom of the fourth. All right, Christian Milam is out there, and it's remarkable how he's been able to stay warm between pitching stints. First pitch down and in, just missed Garza's toenails. And, the umpire asked him, did it hit you? He nodded his head, and now he's headed to first base. And I wonder if we'll get a courtesy runner. We're going to have a pinch hitter, I believe, for Dulles.
Number 14, Brady Ultramari.
No, it's Brady Ultramari. And he's in the lineup, but Dulles just hasn't been able to send that many guys to the plate. All right, so the leadoff walk to Garza. And I guess he's down there running for himself, and Ultramari swings at the pitch in the dirt. Normally the umpire would hold up his hand so it can be sure of the count, but his hands are so cold he's not doing it. So I think it's 1-1. Now it's in the dirt and it's 2-1. We're pretty sure. 2-1. Garza wouldn't steal a base, would he? Here's the 2-1. Down and away. 3-1. Three-one on the way from Christian Milam. And that is served into right field. A solid base hit for Brady Ultramari. And the Vikings, I told you it's going to be the biggest comeback in the history of high school baseball. They get their first two guys on here in the bottom of the fourth.
The shortstop, number 15, Brian Nathan.
All right, Brian Nathan with the red hood coming out of the back of his jersey. Doing everything he can to survive. Milam rocks in, brings it. Strike on the outside corner. Not my style, said Brian. By the way, he's rocking the old school stirrup socks that have the skinny white stripe, broad red stripe, skinny white stripe on a navy blue. And it's a hard ground ball to shortstop. They go to second for one out. Relay on to first, not in time. So one out, now runners at the corners. And up to the plate comes Matthew Morales.
Matthew Morales.
Brian Nathan safe on the fielder's choice. Here's Leo Sayer again, making the rounds. Here's the pitch. Way outside and a beautiful backhand by Bun Shelley. He's got a very narrow white towel coming out of the back of his game pants. You see that a lot in football, never in baseball. Here's a 1-0. In the dirt again. 2-0. Matthew Morales drew a walk in the third. That was his only plate appearance thus far. Milam brings it. Just missed the outside corner, and it's 3-0. So if Morales can coax another pitch outside the strike zone, then the bases would be loaded for the top of the order, Drew Goodrich. Here's the pitch. Strike, 3-2. Christian Milam looking in at his catcher, Bun Shelley. Here's the pitch. And there's a strike. And I guess I thought that was okay, that's just 3-2. Just 3-2. Okay. Pitch on the way. There goes the runner. Outside, ball 4. So not a stolen base for Brian Nathan, because he just had to go to
The
first
second
base
baseman,
anyway.
number 9, Drew Goodrich.
Goodrich likes Call Me Maybe as his walk-up song. I remember that was big in 2012. I remember we had the Little League tournament at Sugarland Little League, and I made a little CD. That was on it. Pitch outside for a ball. Let's see, what was her name? Carly Rae Jepsen, indeed. Here's the 1-0. Goodrich takes a strike, 1-1. So Carly Rae Jepsen wasn't the one that sang that Friday song, was she? Okay. Not the same one. Goodrich takes another strike on the inside corner, and it's 1-2. Bases are loaded with one out. Goodrich goes the other way down the right field line, but the wind will blow it foul. I think that would have stayed fair on a not so windy night, but it didn't have a chance. Open stance for Goodrich. Here's the pitch, and he lines it into center field for a hit. That'll bring home 1 run. In fact, it'll bring home 2 runs. A 2-run single for Drew Goodrich, and the Vikings are on the board, and they have embarked on the great comeback that will be talked about for years. Morales stops at second.
Center fielder number 7, Jake Hewitt.
Now it's Jake Hewitt. Lined out to left field and struck out. Runners first and second. 13-2 is our score, and he swings, and it's off the first baseman's mitt and down the right field line. That'll bring around a run. Here comes Matamoros. No throw arrives, and he scores to make it 13-3. There are runners at the corners with 1 out. I'm kind of surprised that Hewitt stayed at first. Aren't you? Why didn't he get to second? I don't know. So the double play could be in order, but now it's Mark Tisdale.
Mark Tisdale.
So they are stringing together some hits here. 3 runs already in, still just 1 out. Tisdale 1 for 2 with a 3rd inning single, popped up in the first. Milam comes set, brings it upstairs, ball 1. Okay, it would be legendary, it would be epic, but do we really want them to come all the way back? Do we? Yes. And there's a line drive into right field. It drops in for another hit. Here comes yet another run. It is 13-4, and I wonder, are we going to see the end of the line for Christian Milam? Goodrich came home on the single by Tisdale.
The first baseman, number 22, Camden Matamoros.
All right, Camden Matamoros coming up. He's 1 for 2. And the time they retired him, he had a fly ball to left field. Pitch on the way, lefty swinger through the left side. It's going to the third baseman. He's going to step on the bag. Langley gets the put out to retire Hewitt over there. 2 away, and Matamoros is on via the fielder's choice. So that snaps the string of 3 consecutive hits.
Right field number 2, Floyd Gardner.
Now it's Floyd Gardner, and remember, I suggested find that old movie called Being There with Peter Sellers. And Gardner's last name told me that I needed to share that with you. All right, so Gardner steps out. Milam still out there pitching. Runners first and second with 2 outs. First pitch swinging down the third base line, and it's off the third baseman, Langley. He doesn't make the play clean. Error by the third sacker, and everybody is safe. We got the bases loaded with 2 outs.
Now batting the catcher, number 12, Anthony Garza.
Now the Vikings have batted around. Anthony Garza started this whole thing with a walk and scored the first of the 4 runs that have come in. Lefty swinger. Milam taking his time, rubbing up the ball. He's got a batting glove on his hand inside the fielder's glove. Here's the pitch to Garza. First pitch swinging. It's a ground ball to first base. Easy play for Harris, goes to the bag. And that'll do it for the Dulles Vikings in the 4th. The question is it the ball game? Yes, it is. The players are lining up. They will shake hands. Huntsville will get on the bus as quick as they can. Dulles will put all the gear away and go home as quick as they can. So I don't see any reason to say some big, long goodbye tonight. It is 13-4, our final score. A lot of hits for Huntsville, a few in their last at-bat for the Dulles Vikings. This is VypeFortBend.com, and we will have a game for you tomorrow morning at 10. Shadow Creek Sharks hosting your Elkins Knights. And then at 1 o'clock, thank you so much. Then again at 1 o'clock, we'll have the Austin Bulldogs at home as they take on the Angleton Wildcats. All right, for Merle Bertrand, for Les Clary, for Bob McKay, for Patrick Kinnick, for Eric Nathan, for everybody else who was here in the press box, for Mr. Tisdale, I forgot your first name. Mark, just like your son. And Nick Garza, the music man. Yes! All right, so we are done from Dulles. Thank you for listening. If you're still listening, we really we love you. I mean, how can we not love someone that listens to the entire game when it goes like this? 13-4, it's over. Huntsville, congratulations, you played well. Vikings shake it off. District play starts on Tuesday. Good night, everybody, from VypeFortBend.com. I didn't? What is it?
Tristan Wathen.
Tristan Wathen?
Yes, that's my LinkedIn as well.
Okay, thank you. If they didn't click it off, then they'll know your name.
I'm sorry?
If they didn't click it off, they'll know your name.